part two here with volcanoes. And we left off talking about types of lava flows that show a quiet type of eruption, which is going to be mostly basalt. Most of these were studied on Hawaii, as you can see from their names. Pohoihoi is this runny lava that tends to flow fairly fast for lavas, even though it is thick. And then you got A'a, and a typical A'a flow is real slow. It's chunky. It builds up and kind of falls forward, stops for a second, falls forward more. And you can see that these people on this picture are not real concerned about being in front of a lava flow. Both will occur with quiet eruptions, basaltic lava, and we're going to find out their temperatures quite a bit hotter. Okay, they're usually around 1,200 degrees Celsius, which allows the lava to come out instead of being explosive. So if we look at, like we said, the gases, and most of it's going to be water vapor, some carbon dioxide that come out, but it ends up making them more violent. And ones that come out with violent, you don't normally see a whole lot of lava. What you're going to see are pyroclastic materials. What are some of these pyroclastic materials? You're going to see lots of ash and dust, reminiscent of Mount St. Helens. You didn't see lava. All you saw was an ash cloud building up into the sky. So ash, the pumice that we learned about with rocks, it's frothy type lava that hardens with real holes. And then as those rocks and ends up being bigger, lapilli and cinders I call them all cinders because basically they're the same type. They're all just little types of rocks. But for the most part, they do distinguish by size. And you can even get bigger than those cinders, which is just a small little like lava rock that you'd put in your landscaping, blocks and bombs that are ejected out from these explosive type eruptions. General features on any volcano, you're going to have a pipe, which is the conduit that allows the lava to flow through, a vent, which is an opening at the surface. Crater is going to be the large depression where most of the top of the volcano is going to be. Some will exhibit a caldera. It's a depression that's usually really big, greater than a kilometer, a mile. You start seeing it's basically the leftover part of a volcano after it's erupted, and it kind of sinks in. Show you on a couple here in a couple of slides. There's parasitic cones. A lot of times we call those cinder cones. It's still a volcano, but it's going to be part of a larger volcano. And then fumaroles is not lava coming out, but it's going to be gases that are flowing out. And a lot of times those are associated with sulfur debris because there's a lot of sulfur dioxide coming out of the volcano too. Three main types of volcanoes. First is a shield volcano. These are associated with basaltic lavas. They're runny, they're low, they're gentle sloping. Basically, the entire island of Hawaii is a shield volcano with a few other cinder cones and other vents that it's coming out of that we name. But the whole thing is gentle sloping because the lava tends to flow and harden, and it makes these very, very large structures. A shield volcano, I always think it's Hawaii. It is what it is. There's a cinder cone, which is smaller, and a lot of times these are parasitic, as we said. They're on top of the shield volcanoes. Steep angles made up of small cinder blocks. That's why we call them cinder cones. They're the ejected lava fragments that we would look at as being like a lava rock you'd buy in a landscaping store. Very steep, small little cone, but a lot of times you will find these cinder cones on top of a shield volcano. And then the last type or third type is a composite volcano, also called a stratovolcano. These are going to be large sized. They're going to be alternating layers of some lava with ash. These are going to be your large volcanoes in the western United States. Mount Rainier, as it says there, Mount St. Helens. These are your large explosive type of volcanoes, which then show a crater that's at the top. Vents can be at the side. Parasitic cone could be a cinder cone on the side there too. A typical composite volcano would be Mount St. Helens. But that's what it looked like before 1980, where it had the full nice mountain, Mount Kilimanjaro, those big mountains with the snow-covered